Auzubillahi minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Dear student, Assalamu alaikum. In the previous class, in the Musharaka part 1, we studied about what is Musharaka, how Musharaka is established, what are the articles of the Musharaka, and what are the various types of the Musharaka. We studied about two types of the Musharaka, and then we studied the subtypes of these types. And today's lecture we have to study the basic rules of the Musharaka. The basic rules of the Musharaka divided into 6 groups, which are: number 1, basic rules of capital for Musharaka; number 2, the basic rules of management, where we decide about sharing the power, duties and rights of the Mushariks; number 3, basic rules of distribution of profit of the Musharaka, where we decide that how the profit is distributed among the Mushariks; number 4, the basic rules for the distribution of loss of the Musharaka. The fourth one is how losses are distributed among the Mushariks in the Musharaka contract. Fifth one is the power and rights of the partners in the Musharaka, the rules regarding the powers and rights of the partners in Musharaka. And the sixth one is termination of the Musharaka, that how Musharaka is terminated. Number 1, we studied about basic rules of the Musharaka. In the next slide we will study about the basic rules of the Musharaka and what are the basic rules of the Musharaka. The first rule of the Musharaka is the Musharaka must be maloom, or it must be quantified, meaning that how much money is invested in the Musharaka contract by each Musharik or each partner, that the capital that is invested by all the partners of the Musharaka must be quantified, can be calculated in terms of money. Number 2 rule for the capital of the Musharaka is it must be mutayyan. The capital must be mutayyan. It means it must be specified, meaning specified in terms of currency, that the capital must be calculated in terms of currency and it must be specified in terms of currency, not rather than in the goods, commodities, etc. And number 3, the capital not necessarily be merged. It is not necessary that capital contributed by all partners may be merged for any business activity. They may operate individual in their own capacity and they are not need to be merged. And number 4, the capital is not need to be in liquid form. A capital share may be contributed either in cash, in liquid form, or in the form of commodities or goods and services. In case of commodity, the market value of the commodity shall determine the share of the partner in the capital. Yes, the capital can be in the form of the commodity, may not be liquid, but before it is contributed towards the capital of the Musharaka contract, its monetary value, its market value must be calculated, and on the basis of the market value, the share of that partner should determine in the capital of the Musharaka contract. And number 2, the rules of Musharaka are about the management of the Musharaka, how Musharaka will operate, who will operate it, who will manage it, who will work actively and who will work passively. And number 1, the normal principle of Musharaka is that every partner has the right to take part in the management and work for it. Mean that every partner of the Musharaka business is allowed to work in the Musharaka business actively. However, the partner may agree upon the condition that management shall be carried out by one of them, right, and no other partner shall work for the Musharaka. But in this case, the sleeping partners, the partner who are not actively working in the management of the Musharaka, shall be entitled to the profit only to the extent of his investment, and the ratio of the profit allocated to him should not exceed the ratio of his investment as discussed earlier. Mean that the active partner may have the higher proportion of the profit in the musharaka, while the sleeping partner may have lower proportion of the profit in the musharaka. However, if all partners agree to work for the joint venture, it means that all of the partners are actively working for the management of the business. Each one of them shall be treated as an agent of the other in all the matters of the business. Any work done by one of them in the normal course of business shall be deemed as an authorized. The next is the basic rules of musharaka about the distribution of profit. Number A. The ratio of the profit for each partner must be determined in respect of the actual profit earned by the business and not in proportion to the capital invested by him. For example, if it is agreed between them that A will get 1% of his investment, the contract is not valid. It means that the distribution of the profit among the musharik should be based on the profit earned by the musharaka contract, not on the basis of any other criteria like the capital invested, etc. So the profit shall be distributed among the on the basis of the profit earned by the musharaka contract. B. It is not allowed to fix a lump sum amount for any one of the partner or any rate of the profit tied up with the investment. Therefore, if A and B enter into partnership and it is agreed between them that A shall be given 10,000 per month and his share in the profit, and the rest of the profit will go to the B, the partnership will be invalid. It means that you cannot give fixed profit to any partner of the musharaka. The profit must be tied with the percentage of the total profit gain attained by the musharaka contract. If you fix the profit of any partners of the musharaka, the musharaka contract will become invalid. If both partners agrees that each one will get percentage of profit based on his capital proportion, whether both take part in the management of the business or not, it is allowed. Yes, if both partner agrees that each one will get percentage of the profit based on his capital proportion, whether both take part in the management of the business or not, yes, they can decide about the profit. The share of the profit for each should be based on their capital proportion. It means one contributed 40% of the capital, other contributed 60% of the capital, and they may decide that the 40% will go to the one person and 60% will go to the other person, and it is allowed. The next slide is D. It is also allowed that if an investor is working, his profit share could be more than his capital share, right? Mean that one person that is actively working in the musharaka contract, his share of the profit may be higher than his capital share, irrespective of whether other partner is working or not. Mean the working partner may have his share of profit more than his capital, right? For example, if A and B has invested 1,000 each in a business, and it may agree that only A will work and will get 2/3, means 67% of the profit, while B will only get 1/3, mean that only 33% of the profit. Similarly, if the condition of the work is also imposed on B in agreement, then the proportion of the profit for A can be more than the investment. E. If a partner has put an express condition in the agreement that he will not work for the musharaka and will remain a sleeping partner throughout the term of the musharaka, then his share of the profit cannot be more than the ratio of his investment, right? One person that is sleeping partner and he agreed that he will not actively work in the management of the musharaka, his share cannot be greater than his capital share. However, Hanbali school of thought consider fixing the sleeping partner profit share more than his investment share is permissible. F. it is allowed that if a partner is not working, his profit share can be established as less than his capital, right? G. If both are working partner, the share of the profit can differ from the ratio of investment. For example, Zaid and Bakr both have invested 1000 each. However, Zaid gets 1/3 of the total profit and Bakr get 2/3 of the total profit. This is allowed. This opinion of Imam Abu Hanifa is based on the fact that capital is not the only factor for profit distribution but also labor and work. Although the investment of two partners is the same, but some cases quantity and quality of work may differ, and on the basis of quantity and quality of the work and quality of the capital, any partner of the musharaka can get profit share more than his capital proportion. So the basic distribution of loss. The fourth one is how we distribute loss among the partners in musharaka business. Almost all the scholars have agreed upon that the loss of the musharaka contract or business must be distributed as a proportion to their capital in the business. All the scholars are unanimous on the principle of loss sharing in Sharia based on the saying of Sayyidina Ali ibn Talib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that is as follows: loss is distributed exactly according to the ratio of investment and the profit is distributed according to the agreed terms of the partner. Therefore, the loss is always subject to the ratio of investment. For example, if A is invested 40% of the capital and B is invested 60% of the capital, they must suffer the loss in the same proportion as of their investment proportion, not more or not less. Any condition contrary to this principle shall render the contract invalid and void. The next is how power rights shared in the musharaka business among the partners. Partners have the following rights: the right to sell the right to sell the mutually owned property, since all partners are representing each other in shiraka and all have the right to buy and sell for business purpose. Number 2, the right to buy raw material or the other stocks on cash or credit using funds belonging to musharaka contract to put into the business. Number C, the right to hire people to carry out business if needed. Yes, every one of the musharaka partner, if they are actively participating in the management, they can hire people if needed for business. Number D, the right to deposit money and goods of the business belonging to shiraka as depositor trust where and when necessary. Number E, the right to use shiraka fund or goods in mudaraba, the right of giving shiraka funds as hiba, gift or loan, if one partner for the purpose of investing in the business had taken a qarz-e-hasana, then paying it become liable on the both. That is the very important thing, that if all the partners are participating in active management of the musharaka business and they have taken qarz-e-hasana from anyone, then all the partners are liable to pay back that qarz-e-hasana. The next is how musharaka is terminated. Musharaka will be terminated in the case of following right here. If number 1, if the purpose of formation of the musharaka has been achieved. If that purpose has been achieved, the musharaka will be terminated. For example, if two partners form a musharaka for a certain project, such as buying a specific quantity of cloth in order to sell it, and the cloth is purchased and sold with mutual investment, the rules are simple and clear. In this case, the distribution of profit will be as per the agreed rate, whereas the case of loss, each partner will bear the loss according to the ratio of the investment. Right, it's clear that number 1, how musharaka can be terminated. Number 1, when the objective of the formation of the musharaka is achieved. right? Number 2 is every partner has the right to terminate the musharaka at any time after giving his partner a notice that will cause the musharaka to end. For dissolving this partnership, if the assets are liquidated, mean that they are in liquid form, they will be distributed between the partner on the following basis, right? If there is no profit and no loss to the asset, they will be distributed on pro rate basis. Pro rata basis mean that on the basis of the proportion of their contribution in the capital, if there is no loss and no profit in the business. Number 2, in case loss as well, all assets will be distributed on the pro rate basis, right? If there is a loss, mean that everyone will bear loss according to the proportion of his capital investment, and after compensation of the loss, the capital will be returned to the partners. The next is number 3. In case of the death of any one of the partner or any partner becoming insane or incapable of effecting the commercial transaction, the musharaka stand terminated. Mean that if any one of the musharaka partner died or someone become insane or is incapable of doing the commercial transaction, the musharaka shall stand terminated. Number 4. In case of damage to the share capital of one partner before mixing the same in the total investment and before effecting to the purchase, the partnership will stand terminated and the loss will only be borne by the particular partner. It means that everyone agreed upon to contribute some specific share in the capital for the musharaka business, but before mixing the capitals, the capital of someone partner has been damaged or lost, that loss will be bear on the particular or specific person, because the capital is lost before its mixing with the other capitals. However, if share capital of all partner has been mixed and could not be identified singly, then the loss will be shared by all and the partnership will not be terminated, right? Number 5, the termination of musharaka without closing the business. If one of the partner want termination of the musharaka while the other partner or partners like to continue with the business, this purpose can be achieved by mutual agreement. How? The partner who want to run the business may purchase the share of the partner who want to terminate his partnership, because the termination of musharaka with one partner does not imply the termination between the other partners. So these were the basic rules of the musharaka. We will end our lecture and discussion with this topic, and inshallah in the next topic we will study the application of musharaka and mudaraba in the modern businesses and banking system. Inshallah we will meet in the next session. Allah Hafiz.